We are going to be beginning today's day with a very special keynote session. The conversation that's going to be happening right now is about how indie agencies can offer more than just campaigns. The conversation that's going to happen right now is about how indie agencies can offer more than just campaigns. To do the honors and share all the knowledge, insights, and wisdom on stage, I would like to call upon stage Ms. Sowmya Iyer, founder and CEO, Dvio Digital. Can I please have a big round of applause for her, please, ladies and gentlemen? When I say big, Mumbai, come on, you can do a lot better. Yes, give it up for the lady, please, over here. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations on the unveiling of the founder. Thank you for inviting me here. Let me start with a quick poll. How many of you in the room are independent agencies or? Okay, independent agencies, right? Okay. So, I mean, digital, print, mainline, irrespective, these are, I can see quite a few hands there. So what I'm going to speak about over the next 15 minutes is really my journey as an independent agency. I want to give you a view into how independent agencies need not stick to a certain template and can really go beyond the brief to build an enterprise. So let me just sort of start with the most important circle of my life. You guys are familiar with Simon Sinek? Okay, so this is the golden circle by Simon Sinek, and it starts with what's called the why. So when each of us have begun businesses, and when I began my business, I think it was very important for me to identify why did I start Dvio. There could be multiple areas of work that we all can enter. You know, there are businesses where you can make money. There are businesses which are of interest. There's so many different industries and opportunities that India provides. I wanted to focus on why did I start Dvio. And when I reflected on that, I think one of the key reasons why I started Dvio is because I believed in the potential of businesses and enterprises in this country. And if you look at the era of agencies, right? So I'm calling it the era of agencies because I think this era of agencies is fairly obsolete now. You know, this is not the structure, or this is not the era that we're living in anymore. So you had agencies that did storytelling, and then storytelling and distribution, right? ये दो ही mainly काम था इन लोगों का. So you would build campaigns and creatives and, you know, for brands and businesses, and distribution, which is media distribution, and how you're building awareness were the two main areas of work for some of these guys. But moving on, it was highly disrupted by technology. So data, AI, and technology disrupted this whole environment of a fairly linear architecture, which was storytelling and distribution. And we moved into a very complex user journey phase, right? So user journey then became, it wasn't as linear as, you know, you build a creative, वो creative को TV पे डाल दिया, TV newspaper में डाल दिया, magazine पे डाल दिया. You actually entered a very, very complex user journey state. So if you look at this, you know, you're talking about social media, you're talking about emails, you're talking about word of mouth. Within social media, you're looking at least 15 or 20 platforms, you're looking at YouTube. You are looking at the journey that your customer has as they enter your website as well. So it's very, very complex. And then you have OS, you have, you know, you have CRM systems which are orchestrating journey for your clients. So from the fairly fragmented, you know, user journey that we were all experiencing, then there came a need for specialty agencies. So specialty agencies said that, okay, we are going to double click on some of these you know, aspects of the user journey. So then you had what is called as performance marketing companies. Then you had you know, agencies that were focused primarily on just UI and UX, right? Like global standard UI and UX. Then you had you had agencies that focused primarily on just creative aspect of things. So that did well, actually. That helped scale as well, because you're just focusing on a singular narrative, and then you're building your scale from that, you know, from that point of view. But then it really brought me back to, you know, as this fragmentation was happening, as the ecosystem was getting more and more complex for independent agencies, it brought me back to my why. You know, why did I start the business? And for me, like I said and I announced initially, it was my power, it was my belief in the growth and potential of businesses, which means the primary job that we had to deliver as Dvio was to help businesses grow. Now that gave me an opportunity to really be agile and grow in the ways that I thought I could best serve my business or best serve my clients, right? And therefore, we moved from being just an agency to becoming an ecosystem. Now, what I mean by that is, as we were growing Dvio, we incubated about 18 startups. Now, these startups were primarily in ad technology, marketing technology, data analytics, machine learning, AI, creative tech, video tech. Now, these are all startups that could serve our agency ecosystem in some way or the other. These were startups from all across the world, but we were one of the first companies to actually invest in startups that were working in data, analytics, machine learning, and AI. And this was well before the generative AI time, okay? I'm talking about almost 9 years ago. Now, what that helped us do is it really gave us a view into the future. So when generative AI happened, because we were one of the very few companies, and imagine, like, we've done all of this with the foundation of an agency, right, as an independent agency. So when generative AI came in, automatically, because of the head start that we had in AI, I was invited globally to speak on AI and how AI can be applied in different industries. And as I was speaking about how AI can be applied in music, I was speaking about how AI can be applied in supply chain management and retail. It's simply because I had an immersion with AI for the last 9 years. It was well before generative AI, and then generative AI gave us an impetus that we were not expecting. But we were prepared for what was coming, and then that, so then that sort of brought me to a point as we were speaking with different companies and different industries, different enterprises. One of their biggest challenges was that none of them actually had any level of understanding of their own company data. So for AI to function, you need data, right? You need basic foundational data. You need to know where your customers are. You need to know where your channel partners are. You need to know what is the pipeline of customers that you're working with. You need to have your ERP in place. You need to have some data structure for AI to function on top of it, right? So which is what brought me to a point where we said there was a huge need gap for organizations to structure their data. That brought us to a point where we started a specialty vertical that was serving data strategies. Okay, so we built something called Dvio 1, and I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but essentially with Dvio 1, what we are doing is all the enterprise data of organizations, we are funneling it into one platform, and through this, we are layering it with AI. So think of this. You have all your data coming into one platform, and then all you're doing is you are using the magic of AI to chat with your own data and get any insights on your own organization, right? So that is what brought us to build Dvio 1, which is look at this as a data operating system for enterprises and also for marketing organizations. So we were also pulling in data from Google, from Facebook, from Meta, from the sales, the sales ERP tools, etc. So, and then layering that with AI, right? Like AI could give you insights saying, last year you ran this campaign and this is the sort of output that you got. The overlap between what you were spending on Google and Facebook, has impacted your customer acquisition cost by so much. So that's the kind of intelligence that AI could give, because the single most important thing about machines and AI is that it can process data at a speed that human brains cannot, right? So that suddenly gave us access and understanding of a lot of data these organizations had. We went further. In fact, think of this as an independent agency. Now, what you see over here is how we helped an FMCG company transform their business using data and AI. Okay, so here is actually, look at this. So this is the data availability and feasibility of this company. And then we went forward to help them automate their finance, automate their inventory management, supply chain, route to market, right? So this is the level. So we almost, started behaving very organically as a consulting company that is offering implementation of digital transformation or AI transformation for businesses. And from there, we said, let us go back to our core business, which is we were running a marketing company, right? And a digital first marketing and media company. So we decided that we are going to productize and platformize all of these functions within the agency using AI, right? Which is what brought us to something called Discover One. So Discover One is a platform where, do we all agree that SEO has become obsolete now? Because everything that you're discovering is actually you're discovering it on LLMs, right? So we were one of the first companies to go out and almost optimize 100-odd brands as of today for LLMs, right? So you can discover the brands and the clients that we work with on LLMs. So Discover One is a platform that helps you discover your brand on LLMs. And then, there's more work that we did with there's something called Dvio Collab, which is essentially, again, most of the businesses and brands are using co-creators or content creators in order to help distribute their brand. But the most important the most significant issue that most of these brands face is that how do you trust the credibility of a creator, right? So this platform is an AI-powered platform that helps you identify the right creator for your brand. And then with all of these initiatives that we took, from an agency, we became an enterprise, right? So as an enterprise today, we have Dvio Digital, which is a full-stack digital-first marketing, growth, and technology solutions company. And under Dvio Digital, we have Discover One and Dvio Collab. And then we went on to actually build an AI implementation, consulting and implementation practice, Dvio One as a data platform. And then we said, beyond all of this, incubator I already spoke to you about, beyond all of this, how do you build talent that understands all of these things, right? Because that's the biggest challenge that the industry faces. As much as we speak about data, as much as we speak about AI, talent की कमी है. How do you train people to think the way, we as an organization are thinking, which is what brought us to start an academy. So we said, we will start the academy and we will train students. So we incepted 100-hour modules within some of the top universities, So whether it is BITS Pilani, Amity, Symbiosis, some universities, or Manipal, some of the universities in Dubai. So we operate in 6 markets today. We operate in India, Middle East, essentially, Dubai, Doha, Saudi, Malaysia, Australia, and the US. So in some of these markets where we actually wanted to recruit talent and good talent, we started to implement Dvio Academy's courses in the colleges to train the talent and then recruit them. Now this talent doesn't just come to us, but it also goes to our clients, because the clients also want matured marketing, technology, AI, proficient individuals, right? So, and then, we said that for every industry, we'll start creating playbooks. One of the fastest growing sectors today is what's happening with e-commerce, quick commerce, and D2C. Right? So we said for every industry, we're going to support them and serve them by creating growth playbooks. You could be a startup, you could be a mid-scale enterprise, or you could be, maybe an established enterprise. But everybody needs growth playbooks, right? So we started building these playbooks. And that's sort of how Dvio came together as an independent agency. We had the freedom to develop and build an enterprise in a way that we were not fixed or fixated on any particular format on how an agency operates, right? Because what really happened is we went back to our why. My why personally as I began the business was to help businesses and enterprises grow. And what we built is an entire ecosystem of businesses that can support brands and businesses and enterprises grow, right? So whether we are doing that through implementing AI in their business operations, or we are doing that by helping them grow using distribution channels and media. We covered the whole spectrum. So if I was to just, summarize who we are and what we do, my vision is to power enterprises and brands worldwide with data and AI for exponential growth, using platforms, products, and services. So if you look at what has happened, is we have transformed the whole organization by primarily from a services-based organization to becoming a platform and a product which is powered by AI. And services sits on top of that. And that is the future of the agencies. The way, the way the ecosystem is moving is platform, products, and on top of that, you're going to have services. Personally, I feel more and more AI-enabled we become, we lose the touch of being human. And so therefore, even as we are building this organization, I am extremely focused on building a very happy culture. And I'm a big believer in nature. And I believe that the more we are in touch with nature, the more rooted we are going to be, and we'll not get lost in this whole technology and AI world. So as we are sort of we have the vision of moving our entire organization into, let me say, almost like a mini forest, and we're going to work from there instead of glass facade buildings across metros. But these are some of the things that we are doing in order to sort of keep our culture and our roots and what we believe in alive. And that is what I wanted to share with you guys, folks, is that as an independent agency, you really have the power of transforming yourself into an enterprise. I wanted to give you a sneak peek into how the world is going and how we have taken the advantage of it and how we have leveraged it. I hope this was helpful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please give her a big round of applause. I request you to please kindly wait on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, fascinating session. I'm sure she deserves a bigger round of applause. We'll come to the question part, sir. We have a bandwidth for just a couple of questions. So can we have the mic passed to sir, please? Over there. Sir, over here at the front. And if there's any other question anybody wants to ask, we have bandwidth for 2 questions, not more. Yeah, just give it to sir, please. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for explaining in so detail about the AI. My simple question is, what we are believing that data is getting processed very fast to give the correct answer. What is the threat that AI doesn't give the correct answer? It takes to some other direction we are not able to understand.
Yeah. So one of the, what I want us all to understand, even as we are using AI, is that LLMs are getting trained every day, okay? And they work with your feedback. Yeah. So if you go back to ChatGPT or Perplexity or any of these tools, and you see the kind of answers you got 1 year ago and the kind of answers you're getting today. Okay, so essentially there'll be a sea of difference because it is learning from context. It's learning every day. So the expectation so the way I do it is that I look at the most critical jobs, okay, within the organization. I actually map it on criticality of the job. So I tend to focus more or lean more on AI I lean more on AI where the jobs are not extremely critical. Right? And where the jobs are super critical, it's always human assisted. But what I do believe is the way I have seen LLMs function, more and more opportunities are going to open up for human intervention to be lesser and lesser. So it's a matter of time until the accuracy comes in. It has to work on context. It has to learn from your data. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other question? Anybody over here? Yeah. Just pass the mic to sir, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Sowmya.
Hi.
Yeah, my name is Vineet. I work with a company called Qbuster. I had marketing for it. It's a retail technology company. Yeah. So my question to you is actually related to the theme of one of the panels that we have, which is movement from large networks to more indie and boutique networks. So when I look at your journey and a lot of other marketing agencies or solution providers like yours, they all started as indie or boutique agencies, but slowly, with expansions, extensions, and additions, they're actually, they will become, like the big media networks, which we are, trying to not escape, but trying to optimize more and moving to the indie houses, right? So how will you or, agencies like you conserve your ethos of a boutique agency while providing so many other, services in it?
Yeah. So in fact, if you have gone back and looked at the trajectory of independent agencies who got sold out to network agencies, right? If you just look at the data, you'll see there have been perhaps maybe 1 or 2 would be great case studies where they integrated the organization very well, and others probably just got lost. The brand got lost once the founders left. So my vision was to always, as an agency, one of the biggest, strengths that you have is that you understand businesses very closely. You're almost advising businesses like business consultants, right? Which means you have visibility into so much of ecosystem that you need to use that opportunity to build an enterprise for yourself, right? So therefore, I don't see myself as a boutique agency at all. I may be an independent, one of my businesses, if you look at it as an independent agency, right? From there, we use that as a platform to grow into an enterprise that is working with data, that's working with AI transformation, that is working with products, right? So the whole idea of my conversation here was for us to sort of expand the way people look at path forward in an agency structure. लोगों को लगता है कि आप किसी बड़े network agency को बेच दो business, so this could be one way of forward. The other way of looking at it is some of them cease to exist because they don't know, how to move forward from an independent space. If the founder decides that they have other interests, then automatically the agency gets dissolved. So that's not the only way. And then of course, some others are doing a very, very good job with looking at IPO, right? So if you look at RK Swami, they went IPO. There are so many other independent agencies that are now looking at going IPO. So that could be another very interesting way of sort of scaling the organization, right? So there are more paths than just selling out to another network agency. This was the whole point of my presentation.
Thank you for that question. Thank you for the answers.
Thank
You
you.
so much. Everybody, please give her a big round of applause. I request you to please kindly wait on stage. You can give me the mic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be calling up on stage Mr. Vineet Chugh, Marketing Head, Qbuster, to please kindly come up on stage and give Sowmya ji the token of appreciation. A big round of applause for Mr. Vineet as well, please, as he joins us over here on stage. Can we have the token of appreciation, please, on stage? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. That's a nice little gesture. Thank you so much. Please give them a big round of applause. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. There we have the perfect photo.